This video is part 1 of probably a 2 or 3 part video essay. In this video, I go over what made the Otome franchise good and I touch on some of the issues it had and continues to have. In part 2, I'm planning to deeply rant about how bad the situation has gotten. Enjoy, cause I'm about to go on to the yappaton rant of my life. Guys, as an Otome enjoyer of many years, never did I think I'd find myself here, pre-registered for the new Otolame game Till Death Do Us Apart, and on the day of release, I didn't even open it. A few days passed with the icon glaring at me from my home screen, and yet not once did I feel like clicking on it. At least, not till I decided to make this video. Otome has a problem. Many years ago, when I got my tablet at the ripe age of 14, I remember the first thing I had planned to download was the original Otome Shelby Date. And ever since that fateful day, for years, I found myself logging in daily to grind for coins, read through the story, play that silly rhythm game that is barely a rhythm game, but you know, whatever, and pull for cards. Giving my demon boys the best drip and care I could provide, I was fully immersed in their world, the Devildom. To me, these boys, these little demon fellas, were my second family. No joke, that's how invested I was. At the time, I had played a few Otome, but this one stuck out with an endless amount of content and this very unique atmosphere, honestly. From the main screen, where you can choose your husband of choice and interact with him in silly little ways, to how the characters were animated, they felt alive, especially compared to the standard PNG boys with a total of 2 facial expressions. The whole app is drenched in this magical gothic fantasy style. Like you feel it. It's in every part of the game. Like I cannot empathize this enough. This game has style, guys. The home screen simulates your DDD, your Devildom phone, which has been given to you by Diavolo himself, the demon prince and future ruler. DDD stands for Demon's Domination Device. I actually don't know what it stands for. The tutorial is explained to you by an assistant crow called Karasu, meaning crow. By the way, I've been informed it's called crow, not crow. I've been saying crow my entire life. And it's crow? What do you guys mean it's crow? You receive in-game notifications. Okay, and oh my god, the way you get notifications in this game is actually kind of borderline insane. The boys announce themselves loudly in Japanese while you are usually chilling in very public spaces.
充電完了早く来いや
Quiet, please.
ガチャ
メッセージが来たようだ
充電完了
The whole experience is rather traumatic. An Ujiya board with the most gorgeously enchanting animation. The design for that screen is so beautifully gothic. Like, oh, it's so pretty. The whole app is filled with these details and charm that just scream passion. I mean, you can delete apps on the home screen and the demons will install it again for you, which is like such a cute detail. I love that. Undeniably, one of the strongest points in Otome is style. Not just in the world building, background images and app layout, but the character design. We have up to 4 races: demons, angels, humans, and Grim Reapers, and each have their own sense of style where you can easily tell who belongs to which faction. But it's not done in a generic way. The most chaotic outfits tend to be the demon ones. There's lots going on, much noise, strong colors, and all put together to make it work somehow. Now, for the angels, oh lord, let me tell you, they are the sluttiest of them all. Simon. Who said that? Who said that? Oh my god, who said that? Excluding the child Luke, of course. Angels tend to show their skin. You see lots of shoulder, stomach, tight fits that show off their abs. Thank the Lord for their designer, cause my god, amen. With these angels, you bet I am on my knees. Praying, of course. Of course. Now, for the Grim Reaper, cause there's just one, her clothes style resembles that of a demon. Honestly, it's not that different. But her speciality lies in the way she was designed as a character, with beautiful bisexual colored hair and crazy green eyes with a tint of red that scare me as much as they arouse me. So The white of her eyes is grayish that gives her a kind of creepy look that I really fuck with. But the first thing when you open this app that sticks out, or rather blasts in your face, is the music. The background music in this game is really moody, adjusting to fit the vibe whenever you're switching windows to do dailies or you're up to mischief with the brothers. You hear the shift. And the tracks are composed so well, they aren't boring and a genuine delight to listen to. Till this day, I haven't grown bored of them. Like, genuinely, they're that good. And to specify, I'm not talking about the songs produced for this series where the VAs are singing, but the background music, because I don't know, I don't like the usual songs produced for this game as much, except for the intro, but you know, whatever. My general rule for most media that I consume is that it stands and falls with its story. And this game is an interesting case. Because bluntly put, the story is not all that great. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. Especially in the beginning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning?
In the beginning.
In the beginning?
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Especially in the beginning.
Yeah, in the
Listen properly.
in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning.
But the more you play it, the more you become aware that this game is a graveyard of missed opportunities. I find myself listening to Sting What Could Have Been as I stare at the Otome series because over and over they miss the mark. The game lures you in with a dark aesthetic, and it starts off really interesting with a helpless human MCU who has become a transfer student in the demon realm. It's scary and thrilling with a great new world that is shrouded in eternal darkness to explore and a bunch of hot men to figure out, and yet most people end up disappointed. The first few chapters are arguably the best, where you get to know the demons and make pacts with them, as one does. Everything is new. The House of Lamentation, the brothers, the academy, and how you, a human, will survive in this world. However, they only really use these things in the beginning. Later the story tends to forget about danger or mystery. It becomes predictable, although be it fluffy slop. With such perfect grounds to make a mature, interesting and perhaps even dark romance, considering they are demons, this game focuses on poorly written slice of life, which is nice for a while, till you start yearning for everything else they could offer. Especially the romance. They pretty much deprive you of it. Like, there's so little romance in this game. There's like here and there, you get like every 10 chapters, I feel like you perhaps get a kiss with a character, and that's if you're lucky. Making me wonder if they even are aware they're making an Otome. I mean, of course not each Otome needs romance, but this one really would benefit of more. And yet, despite the story being the biggest piece of ass, everything together was still good, because the ingredients they have are so delicious even on their own, that when they fumbled the recipe, they still cooked a good meal. Although it could have been a better one. The world building, for example, is technically really interesting whenever they remember to give you a few crumbs of it. Every character is fun to be around, even the side characters, and they flesh everyone out decently over the course of their slice of life demon therapy, though some more than others. One example being Biel, who represents the sin of gluttony, who always gets neglected and is reduced to a simple, "I'm hungry, can I have a bite? I want to eat." Like, it's the only 3 lines he ever says in the whole game, I swear to God. Instead of exploring him in any other meaningful way or showing us how deeply his hunger affects him. A criticism that applies to all of them but affects him the most. Yet, I enjoyed it for what it was. Enough to play it for hours a day for many years. But then, the big shift happened, which I'll yap to you about in part 2, which should be right here. Strap in, cause oh boy, we have tea to discuss.